All right. Hello. Hey, beautiful, abundant women. Hello. Hi. Okay. I just need to share in my group that I'm live. And then we can talk. Say hi if you're joining me. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? Okay. Oh, hi Vince. Hi Vin, how are you? Thank you for being here. Hello Fidel. Hi. Okay, I hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing well myself. Okay, so I'm gonna start, and then those of you who are going to be joining in later can hashtag replay. Let me just grab some of my notes. Okay. All right. So, what we're going to be talking about this week is a continuation, or I would say another layer of our theme for this month, which is generational wealth. Last week we were talking about generational trauma, how trauma has been passed on, or the impacts of trauma are currently still influencing us as the current generation, and how it's showing up within our money, within our businesses. Yeah. So this week we're going to be talking generational beliefs, still centered around how that plays out within our money, within our wealth, and yes, our spiritual businesses especially. So a beautiful thing happened. I think it was yesterday or 2 days back. I decided to let you in my world, let you in my expansion, and I got to share with you or maybe give you a hint of what is currently coming up for me as Nonofang. Yeah. So if by any chance this is your first time joining me in my live sessions, welcome. I'm so happy to have you, and I hope that you get to enjoy and really learn and shift from the dialogues that we often have. And if you've been with me on this journey, that's also amazing. The thing that I shared was about my work and what it currently represents. Those of you who have been with me on this journey know that I've often, or I identified as a money and mindset coach. As a coach. But the beautiful thing is that when it comes to our journey, especially as women who are on the spiritual journey, women who are constantly healing, and women who are accessing our divine gifts and working with them the way they are showing up in our lives, you would understand that evolution comes with this path. So yeah, I have expanded my work. I have expanded my work. Yeah, it has not really changed, but I would say it has expanded, and this was brought about. This became clearer as I worked with more women and got to realize what is the thing that always gives them, the aha moments, or where do they usually feel like this was so helpful for me. And it has been in doing so much healing work, healing myself, and also holding space for other women to heal. As of today, I would say that I have expanded from officially from being a coach, but to actually being a healer, to actually being a soul and money alchemist, in the sense that I realized that I genuinely have deeper revelations when it comes to money. Whenever I interact with someone, or I have conversation with someone, or I hold space for other women when it comes to their money issues, I often receive these revelations. I often receive this wisdom when it comes to money, our money issues. It is something that comes so easy for me. It is something that I know I'm called to really help others step into the awareness of, So I no longer feel like I do mindset work, right? Or I just coach people. I know the work that I do is healing work, and I'm owning that. And I hope that as I own this, you also get to own your gifts. You get to realize that you have a purpose as a spiritual woman. You have a purpose. There is where you are called to lead. There is where you are called to show up. You are called to impact. You are called to serve and to be of purpose. So yeah, me being in this space and shifting into this space where I truly own that I am doing healing work, and I don't just want to help someone with their budget beneath the whole let me help you plan with your money. I also have this deeper yearning to also make someone realize that sometimes your frustration is not so much that you fail to stick to your budget, or you fail to pay your debt on time. Your frustration is linked to, it could be linked to the wounding around self-deprivation, where you constantly deny yourself things that you deeply want, or you shrink, or you hold back. And because of that pain, there is the resistance to actually stick to your financial goals. So yeah, and it has been coming up, and I do celebrate this myself to say that I want to help women heal. I want to help women heal their soul traumas. I want women to feel safe, to heal the parts of them that resist them having money. I want them to own their desires, their deep desires, and not be ashamed of them, So that is just who I am right now. Someone said to me that one of the things that they love about me is that I have this thing where I help them know where it hurts, because most of the time we actually don't know where it hurts. Sometimes our frustrations or our experiences are only the tip of the bigger issues that we may be going through. So when you have someone who can help you process and help lead you to that awareness of where does it truly hurt for you, I feel like it's a beautiful thing. And if God called me to do that for other women, because I know at some point in time, a few years back, 2019, someone did the same for me. I'm so honored, I'm so honored. So I celebrate this expansion. I celebrate this visibility, and I hope that it also influences you to really own who you are, That is what you are here to do, to own who you are and to feel worthy of being compensated and paid for being who you are truly, and literally create wealth through the things that resonate with you, that you truly love, not the things that you think you should be doing in order to have money. So yes, on to today's topic. We're going to be talking generational beliefs, right? Generational beliefs and how they are currently playing out within our money and within our businesses. This is another layer of generational wealth, right? So essentially, when we speak of generational beliefs, we are basically referring beliefs as they are. We're basically referring to what is true, what is true for you, what is true for me, even though we may not see the evidence, even though it may not be tangible, but we hold this truth or this inner knowing that this is true. For example, majority of us hold the belief that God exists, right? That God created us, humanity, and we believe in God. I don't know about you, but I truly believe in God. I've never seen God, but because I deeply know that there is a higher power, there is a higher power. There is something that I connect deeply with that is beyond the physical. And I feel this connection. And I've seen the works of having this connection or having this inner knowing or this belief or accepting this inner knowing as true, right? Because of that, I tend to see the evidence of this in my life, right? So a belief is something that you hold dear to you, hold as true, that you have accepted as true, so much that you are now able to witness the evidence of that belief. So it's no longer just something you connect to energetically, but you are also able to see it as the evidence, right? You see your own version of the evidence of that belief because it is true for you, right? So majority of us know that or believe that God exists and God is real and he's omnipresent and he's everything, And because of that, we often see the evidence of holding that as true in our lives. Someone survives an accident or they get to have a beautiful opportunity come through in their lives. The first thing they say is, thank God, I know God did this. I know it is because I believe in God. It is because of God's doing, that this happened, right? Now, beliefs can be positive, right? Beliefs can be positive, but they also can be negative or they can be limited in the sense that sometimes what you hold as true, remember, you are the one who's holding this as true. What you hold as true is not necessarily true, right? What you have accepted as true is not necessarily true. Now, this is where a lot of resistance comes from for a lot of people, because it's like, how, if I see it as true, then it's true. The resistance then comes up when we have to shift from that which we've held on for so long, that this is true, right? So when we look into generational wealth, or what has been passed on to us in the form of, our thoughts around money and wealth, our beliefs, our ideas around money and wealth, a lot of that may be true or may not be true. So the struggle to accept that this may not be true has led to a lot of us having these negative experiences when it comes to money, or experiencing lack or scarcity. Just having the frustration of not having the money that you truly want, not having the money that you feel is enough for you to meet your needs. Not being able to really step into abundance or embody abundance and really have the riches that you know you want. The reason why that is because in as much as you want the money, you want the wealth, you want to be creating the wealth that you deeply desire, there are still unconscious beliefs that are playing out, and they are creating the evidence that this is true because it's what you inherited, right? So some of our beliefs have been passed on from generation to generation, hence why this topic was so important to discuss in terms of generational wealth. It's not just the tangible asset that were passed on. It was also the ideas around those assets, the ideas around money that we got to inherit from our great-grandparents, our parents, and our grandparents. So beliefs tend to move through lineages. They are passed on through lineages, and because we constantly confirm or affirm them to be true, energetically we connect to these beliefs and they become our reality. So the most common belief for a lot of Black descendants or people of color is that money is never enough, right? And this is because for generations we have seen this to be true. We have struggled with not having enough money, with lack, with scarcity, so much that even generations going forward still experience the same evidence of money not being enough, us having lack, us never being able to have the money that we truly desire. And it doesn't matter how hardworking you are, it doesn't matter sometimes it doesn't even matter how much you make, I have seen myself working with people who you would think they earn so much money or they make so much money, right? The income is there. However, you are still not experiencing the abundance. You are still feeling like it's still not enough. No matter how much it feels like there is more, it still feels like there's less. Hence why people always say more money, more problems. Because it's like the more money comes in, the more challenges, the more demands that end up leading me to create the evidence of money not being enough, right? So as I'm saying this, I need you to realize that the reason why it becomes evident is because energetically, right? Energy is very powerful. Energetically, you are still connecting to this agreement. Let's call it an agreement that has been existing in your lineage for the longest time, that has been passed on from lineage to lineage for the longest time. And because you are energetically also holding it and affirming it and believing it, holding it as true, it manifests in the form of it manifests into your reality, supporting that which you hold. So we often manifest lives or create the lives that actually are supported by the beliefs that we hold, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. And the most spooky ones are the unconscious ones that we energetically hold because they exist in our lineage. And because we energetically hold that, it is easier for us to create the evidence of that, making it true, whilst it may just be a story, right? So like I said, the most common one is, money is not enough. For the longest time, you'll find that for a lot of Black people, you can only reference a few of your people in your lineage who actually have created riches and wealth, right? While for some, even if you did witness that wealth or form of riches, you also witnessed the scarcity within that. Just because there is money, just because there is accumulation, does not always mean that lack is not being experienced. or else we wouldn't be going through the frustrations that we go through, the depression that we go through when it comes to money. Because we wouldn't even be having black tax if having influx of money or riches was evidence that actually we're no longer in lack, right? We have black tax as an effect of the scarcity that we still connect to, the belief systems that are limited around money that we still connect to, right? So it always looks like maybe one or two people in a family can shift those beliefs and bypass those beliefs, and then the rest still connect to that so much that because the pull is so strong when it comes to affirming the limited beliefs, then it impacts even the other members who may not actually be aware that they're also connected to that. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So when it comes to our belief systems, what sustains them, what sustains the belief system, I'll keep using the money is not enough one, the scarcity one, because it's so big for a lot of us. What sustains it, what powers it, is one, the agreement, the unconscious agreement that we have with this belief as a lineage. And this agreement stems from the fact that we share a DNA, right? You share a DNA with people in your lineage. And therefore, because of this DNA that you share, you find that there is power in that. There is power, there is energetic power in you sharing that DNA, which means that whatever agreements, whatever beliefs exist, you may also unconsciously connect to those beliefs. The one being money is not enough, right? You may unconsciously connect. And what is connecting you is energetically is the fact that one, you do have the DNA of this lineage that holds the belief that money is not enough. And two, there can be this agreement comes in the form of what we would call a sacred contract, right? A contract, because it's like you energetically agreed to this by being born in this lineage. By inheriting that belief system, you are also part of what holds the belief to be true, right? This is why even now, I'm sure some of you have experienced this, where in families, the one who gets to be rich or gets to make money or break that contract that maybe the family is holding, what the lineage is holding, the contract that money is enough, usually what they experience is, being alienated from the family. Usually they experience a lot of rejection, sometimes from the family conflicts, them as well not feeling safe around their loved ones or the people that they know, because it's like you have done something out of the ordinary. You have done something that breaks the agreement. It's sometimes to a deeper level. We call it jealousy, but to a deeper level, it can be that it's a form of betrayal. We agreed that money is not enough. So why are you creating a life that reflects money being enough, right? Because as the collective, as the people who are part of that lineage, you are constantly affirming and agreeing that money is not enough through the evidence that comes up in your own lives, right? So as I'm saying this, I want you to realize the depth and the strength of and the power that comes with a belief system. Why most of us often struggle to actually shift our belief systems, and sometimes why it will take someone holding space for you to actually realize that, oh, I'm running on a belief system. I am creating my life, I am creating money, I am creating my business the way it is because of a belief system that has been in my lineage for the longest time, and I am constantly agreeing to it because it's unconscious and I'm not even aware that this is playing out, right? So yeah, think of a belief as an agreement that you get to, you are connected with, that you power through your own DNA, through your own energy, right? Yeah. But as we're saying this, my love, don't think that because this is existing in the lineage, it means that, okay, then I should just give up and feel like, okay, then that's the way it is. Money is not enough. That's not true. The reason why we bring this into awareness, one, when you begin to recognize this, it loses power. When you begin to shift this, it loses even more power. When you begin to now recreate a different pattern that doesn't support this belief, then you no longer can connect to it. Then you release yourself from this contract. But it takes work. I don't want to lie. It takes work. And for a lot of us, sometimes we get to resist this because beliefs are what we have taken as true. We have accepted them as true. Many people accept that, oh, money is not enough for me. Oh, people who have money are actually corrupt and they had to do bizarre things in order to have the money. So there is no way that this is cannot be true, right? So as I'm saying this, may I ask that let's breathe. May I ask that we pause, and I want you to take this opportunity to look into your life, right? The life that you have created now, especially when it comes to your money, right? Look into how you are currently making money. Look into your business, right? Your spiritual business right now. How currently money is playing out. And if you can see the belief that you actually hold, or what you hold as true, so you will look at it in the form of, this is what I keep experiencing when it comes to my money, right? Once you are able to see that this is what I keep experiencing with my money, right? Then you can notice that, oh, could it be that I carry the story, or I believe that 1, 2, 3, I believe this about money. So yeah, for example, someone who in debt definitely carries the belief that, money is never enough for me. So they constantly create debt just to affirm the not enoughness, sometimes without even realizing that's what they're doing. So I want you to go within and look at currently how you're experiencing money. Look at currently how money is coming in your business. When money comes in, what are the thoughts that comes through? What do you usually do? And from that, what is the story that you have created with money? A belief is something that repeatedly occurs. So to know that I have this belief, you will see the evidence of it in the patterns that you constantly create when it comes to your money, right? So it doesn't just become a thing that is playing out in your mind. It also brings forth the evidence, That's why I said there is this power, this energetic agreement when it comes to the belief, so much that we affirm it to a point where it comes up even physically, right? So let's look into that. I'll also share with you some of the beliefs that I have noticed, especially within my business, with my desire to create money. The beliefs that I've noticed in seeing how money was playing out. Let's pause and look into that and let me know what you come up with, or what you're noticing that you hold this. A belief can come in the form of like, this is what feels like is true for me, because it repeatedly shows up within your money. Okay? Take a deep breath in. Breathe out, release. Another deep breath in, breathe out. Feel your presence, feel your body, feel yourself within, feel energetically connect with yourself right now, with your core. And right, as you're doing this, I'm just going to help you clear any interferences. I want you to start imagining that there's golden light right on top of you, and it is expanding from your head to your toes, and it's expanding energetically all over you. This golden light, this golden shower is clearing out any interferences, any thought forms right now that are probably holding you back without you realizing. Clearing out so that you may receive a clearer message of where you are currently playing out the beliefs that exist within your lineage that you are energetically connected to, that you may be aware of or not be aware of. So trusting that the interferences are cleared, begin to truly witness yourself, see your money, see how money comes into your account and what you do with it, how money comes into your business. Is it coming? Is it not? What's the struggle? What are the thoughts around that? And what do you tell yourself by end of day when you experience this? Okay, trusting that you've received the message, you may open your eyes and yeah, you may share the revelation that you realize that I do have this belief when it comes to money or business. That this is the belief that I carry. This is a story that keeps playing out. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the belief that came up for me when I was doing this exercise, the belief that keeps showing up when it comes to my money and my spiritual business, right? Yeah, and then I'll share with you some of the beliefs that I know are really big when it comes to women who are on that spiritual journey, right? So as I was doing this exercise and I was looking deeply into money and how it's playing out, I realized that I hold this deep belief that it has to be hard, that building my business and making money has to be hard. Like, it is hard, that it requires hard work for me to have money. Yes, that was the belief. It requires hard work for me to have the money. This looks like things that could literally take me an hour or 30 minutes to do, tasks that could take 30 minutes or an hour to do in my business. I could literally take 3 hours or 4 hours because of this belief that it has to be hard. And sometimes I remember when I started my spiritual business, when I started telling people that I'm a money coach, I can help you, hold space for you to, move through and process your emotions and your beliefs around money so that you can allow yourself to expand and make more money, increase your income. I tell you this, I think it was within a month, I already had people showing interest, coming forth. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I need your work, I need your work. They would sign up for my program and enroll in my program. And because it happened too quick, because it happened just too quick, it felt like I did not work hard for this. It felt like I did not labor, I did not earn this, How is it possible for people to want to just easily pay me, to do this work, to easily pay me to do something that comes so easy for me? I didn't struggle. And because of that, I collapsed a lot of potential sales, potential opportunities to work with me because I just couldn't handle how easy it was. That's how this belief played out. It looks like always affirming struggle, always wanting things there to be a struggle before I can actually achieve something. And this is because I am a descendant of people who had to prove themselves every now and then, who constantly knew that. For example, I've shared that in my family a lot of times, most of the time it was they worked 8 to 5 jobs, not doing businesses, right? So you can imagine sometimes, like, just if you were to look at this pattern, there's so much of proving yourself. Work hard, then you'll be promoted, right? Work hard, then you can earn more. So the belief that I have to work hard, that there has to be struggle, is something that I did not create that belief. I got to accept it because of what I witnessed in my lineage and in my family. And I took that to be true. And as I took that to be true, it became my reality and showed up even within my money. That no money can just come easy. So even in this business, we are not going to accept money that comes easy. That was the belief talking, the limited belief. So it looked like not being able to accept an opportunity that comes easy. Listen, let me struggle first. Let me take a year struggling first. Then I can start allowing myself to make money, because that way one day when people say, tell us about your journey as a black woman who has her business. At that time, I'm a multimillionaire. It has to make sense why I made the millions, right? So it felt like I need to end this. I need to write the story, and every story starts out with a little shaky, every story starts out with so much anxiety and uncertainty, or it can be a sad story. The happy ending, like we're saying, happy ending, it comes towards the end. There's no way I can begin my journey and experience joy in the beginning, right? So this was how I was sponsoring this belief, I was sustaining this belief that I could tell exists in my lineage as well. I see the bigger picture of this belief holding true in my lineage and even in my business. So I had to keep working on releasing, and it wasn't a one day thing. Your beliefs, some of them will drop easily. They become the minute you recognize them and become aware of them. But some of your beliefs will require you to constantly heal, because they come from deeper wounds, or they are attached to deeper wounds that you may be aware of or you may not be aware of, right? The story was not just created out of nothing, That's the story of you need to earn. It has to be hard first before you can get the things that you want, has been playing out for ages and ages, centuries in my family. So me seeing that, and me being someone who loves being a good person, I've talked about this wound of being good so much. I see why it was easier for me to want to carry this wound, to carry the struggle. I'm black, I'm a woman, I have to struggle first. That way my story will be inspirational. If I literally tell you that, so if you look at it, a lot of entrepreneurs, even those who are not even spiritual, a lot of times when we read their biographies, when we read their stories, isn't the story that I struggle first and therefore I got here because of struggle? There is another human being who doesn't say I struggle first, who says, I managed to get a loan from my parents, and once I got the loan, in a few months, yes, I put in the work. Of course, there's always work to be put in. I got the results, and I started seeing growth. While someone else can be for 3 years, for 5 years, there was nothing in my business, nothing was coming out. Who here is carrying the belief that it has to be hard, right? And this is not me saying that there are not other factors, but I'm just trying to show you that if the collective, if right now we go into, we read books or we hear interviews where people are always talking about struggle, sometimes it can be difficult to heal the idea that it has to be hard, because you feel like it was hard for that person. The mind works with reference. It was hard for people in my lineage, therefore it makes sense for me to be hard, right? So this came up for me, and I realized it was so big, and I would say that I have healed part of it, but I'm not about to say I've completely healed it. I wouldn't say that. But yeah, I've definitely put in the work to clear this form of agreement that I energetically made, that I'll also carry the struggle of my ancestors, and seeing that is playing out. But yeah, I didn't want to make it such a long live stream, but before I go, I wanted to also talk about the belief that also shows up for a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, is the belief that money and God cannot mix. I cannot be for God. I cannot be called into doing the work of God and make money. And this is because for the longest time we believe that money is the root of all evil. Money cannot be something that you get to have while at the same time you are for God. And so it may come up as the fear that if you were to have more money, as a woman in her spiritual business, if you were to have that money, then it will mean that you are not as deeply connected to God. Because again, we have this thing where we believe that our struggle connects us deeply to God. We have this thing where we actually believe that struggle means humility. It means that you are truly for God, that you become the type of person who looks for blessings in things that are not material. Huh? God and money cannot mix. This is a belief that has been carried out for generations to generations, especially by spiritual people, believing that if I have more money, then it will mean that I'm not as devoted to God. I will not be humble. I will not be holy. So we tend to get rid of opportunities where we can actually expand and make more money and allow ourselves to receive money. We feel like why should I be paid for God's work? Why should I be compensated for God's work? Recognize this today, that this is something that you took as true, but it does not have to hold as true. Why would God want you to suffer? Why would God measure your humility and your grace and your ability, your devotion through money? Of all the things, we just had to pick money. We just had to pick money to be the one thing that measures how holy we are. Come on. Yeah, so look deeply into that. Yeah. And another one that often plays, and it's so linked to also wanting to remain this humble person, wanting to be a good person, a person of God. The idea that, I have enough. It's so subtle, we often miss it. The belief that I have enough. I realize that this belief comes from, for a lot of us spiritual men, it comes from the idea that you have to be grateful and have gratitude and appreciate what you have and where you are at all times. This is amazing. But at the same time, we tend to not realize that sometimes this locks us into the belief that, okay, I'm grateful for the things that I have. If I'm to aspire to have more, if I'm to be ambitious and want more, it might mean that I'm not appreciating where I am, or I'm not appreciating the things that I have, And for a lot of Black descendants, it also comes off at this, in the sense that you are always reminded that at least you are better than other people. You are better than some of your family members. Therefore, it's okay. Like, be where you are. If you want more, what are you doing with so much money? Why do you need so much wealth? What are you doing with it? When some of your siblings don't have much, like, relax, and this is what has caused a lot of rift when it comes to expansion and feeling safe within even our families, to say that I'm allowed to want the things that I want, because sometimes judgment comes off as, why do you want to have all these things? You are ungrateful. Like, just appreciate your life. Be where you are, Always notice that this is because they often also get triggered by your expansion. Our expansion as Black descendants represents how much we are breaking away from the belief systems that have been existing in our lineages. So when we expand and break away, sometimes it really becomes painful for even those around us and even us, because it feels like you are betraying the agreement. We have long agreed that this is how we are going to experience money and wealth. So it can't be that. So most of us tend to carry the belief that, okay, then I just have enough. I'll not want more. I'll just appreciate what I have or where I am, and I'll not allow myself to dream bigger or expand. And if you do, sometimes it comes off you liking things, being a liker of things, or wanting too much, or being too much. You are too much. You are too like this. You are too deep. You are too sensitive. You are too ambitious. Like, relax. We often want people to relax, because we want to hold them down to the belief that you have enough. Why do you want more? So a lot of us tend to create this belief. It's so subtle, it's so tricky, without us realizing. And yeah, we create this belief that I have enough. And mostly you're saying you have enough because you feel like the people around you don't have much. Therefore, you have enough and should just be okay with where you are. Right? Yeah, share with me some of the beliefs that you've noticed that you are playing out within your wealth, within your money, within your businesses, some of the beliefs that are playing out within your families or lineages. It's important for us to recognize these beliefs and question, is this true? Right? If you believe that I have to really, really work hard before I can get money, is this true though? Does money come through hard work? Or is there someone who makes 2 million every week, and they work less hours? You need to get to a point where you recognize the belief and challenge the belief. Is this really true? If it's true, sure, carry on. But if you feel like this is not actually true, this is a story and this is something that I inherited without ever questioning, you have the opportunity to question. The fact that you are here watching this video means that you are the type of person who question things. You are the type of person who can recognize something and say, is this really true, right? And once you realize that this may not be true, go in there, heal that, shift from that, release that, and realize that you can no longer be in agreement to things that you yourself do not support. If you keep the belief systems that you have constantly been told, or you have constantly, been reminded that they exist for a reason, and you have always affirmed also through your actions, then you are not going to break out of this financial stagnancy or this cycle of this scarcity that has affected our lineages over and over again. We become aware of the things that are holding us back, of the things that we are energetically connected to, so that we can begin to heal them. It's an opportunity for you to recognize, to witness, not so much of judging, but witness this and say that, yeah, of course, remember the belief was created, may have been created from a certain wound, that you were not there when it happened, but you are here carrying out the belief, right? Carrying out the story that, well, when it comes to money, I never have enough. It didn't start with you. Recognize that, not without judgment. Witness that, and heal that. Release that. That's how you become free, and that's how you get to build generational wealth. Generational wealth is not so much about us passing money and assets to the next generation. We will do that. But it's also about realizing that we are also going to pass belief systems to them. What are the things that you are not longer willing to say to your children that your mom and dad said to you, that your caretaker said to you about money, and you no longer want to say those things to your children? You are going to shift and begin to even change your language, because we understand that even words do create. Words are affirming of the beliefs, right? So I hope that was not too overwhelming. There was so much to say. It's one of the topics that I'm so passionate about, because I'm like, how are we not seeing this? How are we not seeing that we're constantly affirming the limited beliefs that we didn't even come up with, we didn't create? I definitely expand through healing the belief systems that I realize are playing out with my money, especially the limited ones, that whenever I heal a belief system, I energetically feel it, that I have released this, and I know that this is not holding true for me anymore. I'll get to a point where money comes ease. I will really get to that point where I just know that in a week I'll just be making so much money. I'm definitely going to get there. And this started out in me realize that, I have a problem with money coming easy, because I hold the belief that money has to be hard, come through hard work. Not anymore. You really need to say, not anymore. I do not consent to this anymore. Do that for yourself. Do that for your lineage. All right. This is the end of our session. Thank you, Lesulame Ramokwena, for being here. It was lovely, and see you next week, Tuesday. We're also going to be having another beautiful topic as a layer to generational wealth. Right? Bye.